Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Amelie and today in this Yin Yoga class we'll work on breaking past our fears. Because fear is a totally normal, healthy, protective mechanism. But when it becomes problematic is when fear, instead of simply informing our experience, starts to prevent us from living a happy, fulfilling life. And we all had this when fear started to run the show and paralyze us. So today in this Yin Yoga class, we'll work on postures to actually overcome those blockages and use fear not as an obstacle, but actually as a stepping stone and fuel to help us to move more towards our purpose. So for this Yin Yoga class, you can have a bolster or a block or both. I have both for convenience, but if you simply have some big cushions at home, just use that. So grab everything you need and we're gonna get started. So we're gonna start with a meditation. So find a comfortable position for you. I'm sitting right now, but if you feel like lying down or going into a child's pose, feel free to do that. Just make yourself comfortable, and if you're willing, you can close your eyes, otherwise simply soften your gaze. And just take a moment to welcome yourself into your practice. Maybe you feel the contact point of your body with the floor. And see if you can allow your hips and belly to soften. Maybe relaxing the muscles of your face, releasing tension around the eyes, the forehead, and the jaw. Now we're just going to take a tour through our 5 senses to start to bring your awareness to your sense of touch. Noticing the sensation on your skin. Feeling the fabric of your clothes, the texture of your mat, maybe the temperature of the air in the room. And then move to your ears. Start by focusing on the sounds that are further away from you. Maybe in the street or outside the room. And moving a little bit closer, noticing the sounds inside the room. And getting even closer, noticing the sounds produced by your own body. Your breath, maybe your heartbeat or the gurgles of your stomach. Noticing if you smell anything. And if you don't smell anything, maybe you simply focus on the sensation of the air coming in and out of your nose. Can you maybe taste something in your mouth? With a lingering taste of your last meal? Or simply focus on the sensations of your mouth, maybe feeling your teeth, your tongue, your palate. And then bringing awareness towards your sight. Even if you have your eyes closed, maybe you notice some lights and shadows dancing behind your eyelids. And bringing your awareness even more inwards. Just noticing how you feel right now. Just doing a little check-in with yourself. And maybe you start to notice your natural breath unfolding in and out. Just feeling the expansion and contraction of your belly and chest as you breathe. And every time you breathe out, feel yourself becoming a little bit more grounded, centered, and peaceful. And if you would like to set an intention for this practice around the theme of fear, but also around something else if you like. Something that you need, something you want to let go of, something you want to cultivate. It can be words, images, or felt sense. Just set your intention now and repeat your intention silently 3 times. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. So if you haven't done so already, we're going to find a way onto our spine. So moving onto your back, lying down on your mat with your knees bent, and moving your arms, opening them wide to the side, and slowly start to drop your knees towards the right, finding a twist. As you keep your chest and heart towards the sky, both shoulders grounded. And feel free to add some props in between the knees or underneath the knees for more comfort if you like. Feel also free to cross your knees if you want to deepen that twist. And take a deep breath in through your nose and out through the mouth, settling into your twist. In Yin Yoga, we have 2 reasons to move when we hold a posture for quite some time. The first one would be if after a few minutes the body starts to open up. You may take that as an invitation to go a little bit deeper. So in that case, you may want to move to answer that invitation. But on the other hand, if you really experience extreme discomfort and maybe injuring yourself, you may want to move to ease a little bit away from the pose, maybe adding some extra props or completely escape the pose if necessary. And slowly bring your knees back to center. And twisting to the other side, dropping the knees towards the left. Again, feel free to adjust, maybe using some props and playing with maybe the height of the knees, maybe bringing them closer towards the chest, a little bit lower. And in Yin Yoga, it's a little bit like lifting weight. If you go to the gym and start trying to lift the heaviest weight, not only you're probably not going to succeed, but you're also going to struggle a lot, and you also risk to hurt yourself. In the same way, if we approach a Yin Yoga pose by trying to go super deep right away, we probably not going to have a good time, and also we may injure ourselves. On the other hand, if you try to pick up the lightest weight, while you know that maybe you have the strength to take something a little bit heavier, you're probably gonna miss out on the benefits of lifting weight, and you're not gonna rip the benefits out of it. In the same way, if you just tiptoe around a yin pose without ever fully going, you will just miss out on the benefits of the practice. And so Yin Yoga is like lifting weight at the gym. We want to go slowly and mindfully, and maybe increasing the load as we go. But just be mindful of these cues throughout the practice to see if you have the space to go a little bit deeper, if you need to stay, or maybe if you need to back out. Slowly you can bring your knees back to center. And then extending the legs onto your mat, just lying down there for a moment, taking a little pause. And whenever you're ready, you can bring your knees towards your chest, maybe giving yourself a nice hug or moving a little bit from side to side to massage your lower back. And then maybe transitioning to your side to lift yourself up and find a seat. So bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees to the side, finding a butterfly. So the more you bring your feet towards your pelvis, the more you will feel the stretch on your groin. And the more you bring them more forward to create kind of a diamond shape, the more you may feel it on the outside of your hips. So find the right distance for yourself. And once you have found it, use your hands to guide yourself towards the floor until you find your edge. That place where you do feel that something is happening, but not too much as to not pass your edge. And maybe you stay here, maybe you want to use a block or a cushion to support your forehead if you have the space. Or you can simply maybe even placing your elbows onto support and just rest your forehead onto your hands. And if you feel your mind wander, that's totally okay. But see if you can gently guide it back towards your body and towards your breath. Maybe focusing on the physical sensations produced by this shape, or simply following the rise and fall of your belly and chest. Just using that as your focal point to stay present in your practice. And slowly, when the time has come, you can gently lift up your head and using your hands to guide yourself back up. Maybe you bring your feet onto the floor in front of you and leaning back onto your hands, just moving the knees from side to side, finding some windshield wipers to release our hips. And then finding your way onto your belly for a moment. So moving onto the belly and propping yourself onto your elbows. So trying to bring your elbows right underneath the shoulders or slightly forward. So trying to not to bring them behind, otherwise it's going to take you a lot of effort to not collapse forward. So see how it feels here on your lower back. The more you bring the hand forward, the milder it will get on your lower back. You can also play with the distance in between your feet so you can relax the glutes and the legs. And from there, you can allow your neck to sink in between the shoulders, bringing the ears towards the shoulders. And the head can stay straight, or maybe you want to drop the head forward, or maybe you want to even tilt the head back. So find your own Sphinx pose right now. In traditional Chinese medicine, this shape activates two meridians, two energy channels that are our kidney and urinary bladder meridians. And these two meridians are, when they are in balance, associated with fears, and especially irrational fears. So see if you can maybe breathe a little bit deeper so you can find a sense of groundedness, safety, and trust. Allowing your heart space to radiate forward, to invite that trust. It can be scary to open as we feel exposed and vulnerable. But breaking past our fears is also trusting ourselves enough to know that we have what it takes to figure things out. So feel free to stay here, or if you like to intensify the sensations on your lower back, feel free to slightly widen your hands and straighten up your arms, finding your seal pose. If it doesn't feel good, feel free to stay into your Sphinx for a little longer. Whenever you're ready, wherever you are, slowly release, lowering yourself down and taking a little rest onto your belly or on your side if you prefer. Maybe you want to slightly move your hips from side to side just to release the lower back. And slowly just push yourself back up. Maybe you want to take a quick child's pose here, or moving a little bit the spine. And then find a tabletop position and bring your right knee behind your right wrist, shin bones onto the ground, and moving the right foot a little bit closer towards the left hip. Slide your left leg back. Bring your hips as low as possible. So here, feel free to prop yourself. Maybe you place a block underneath the right buttocks. Maybe you place a blanket or double fold your mat underneath your left knee. And if you like, you can also take a big cushion here and just folding forward, finding your sleeping swan. So some of you may feel that posture a little bit more on their right side, especially on the outside of the thighs and the back of the thighs, maybe even into the glutes. Some of you may feel it more on the left side, especially towards the left hip flexors. So wherever you are, if you feel one of those two or the two, you're doing it right. If you feel some intensity in that shape, instead of trying to push it away, see if you can breathe with those sensations. Just observing them. Maybe you inhale more trust and exhale fears. Focusing on the rhythm of your breath, just so you can stay present with what actually is instead of the stories that our minds tend to build. And slowly use your hands to push the upper body back up. If you have a block underneath your right buttocks, you can remove it just so you can lean onto that side. And swinging your legs in front of you, planting your feet onto the ground, maybe finding another windshield wipers, moving the knees from side to side to release the hips. And then taking your rest. Again, feel free to be on your spine, but if you prefer to be on your belly or on your side, feel free to do so. And whenever you're ready, we're gonna slowly come out just so we can move onto the other side. So finding your tabletop position again. And this time, bringing the left knee behind the left wrist and sliding the right leg back. Again, using all the props that you need here. And then folding forward towards your cushion or directly onto the floor, whatever feels more comfortable. You may need to wiggle around a little bit until you find your edge in that sweet spot that may be different from the first side. According to traditional Chinese medicine, in this posture we are activating two meridians, our liver and gallbladder meridians, that runs respectively on the inside of our legs and upper torso and on our side body. And so according to traditional Chinese medicine, those two meridians, the liver and gallbladder, are also respectively nicknamed the ruler of actions and the ruler of decisions. And it shows us that sometimes instead of being paralyzed by our fears, we can also use them as fuel to move forward in life, to become more driven towards our purpose, and finding growth and freedom in overcoming our challenges. The liver and gallbladder are really all about growth and drive. It's our willpower, motivation. So instead of making ourselves small because of our fears, can we also dare to shine? And slowly we're going to ease away from the pose, again using our hands to push us away from the floor, leaning onto the left side, just guarding the props in the corner and swinging both legs to the front, maybe having some windshield wipers, or moving directly onto our rebound. And slowly we're going to find our way back onto a seat. But this time, sitting on our knees. So see if you can widen your feet and sit in between your feet and your ankles. See how it feels already for your knees. If you feel that it's pretty uncomfortable, feel free to elevate the hips a little bit by sitting on something, maybe a block, maybe a cushion, so it relieves the pressure not only on the knee joint but also on the ankles. Feel free to stack more blocks if you need to. And I encourage you to start with a bolster or a cushion and starting to lean back. So maybe already this is pretty intense for you and you feel already a lot of stretch on your quadriceps, the front of your thighs. So maybe this is your posture here. And you stop here. If you like, you can have something underneath your cushion just so you can relax a little bit more. But if you have this space, feel free to move a little bit deeper, maybe moving onto the forearms, maybe simply resting on your bolster, or maybe even all the way down onto the floor. So using more props here to support the spine. And whenever you're ready, just take a deep breath in through your nose and out through the mouth. Trying to relax your shoulders, allowing them to drop towards the ground. Relaxing your buttocks and your belly, softening the spine. And just breathe nice and slow. I'd like to share a poem with you. It's called Fear by Khalil Gibran. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter, there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. To come out of the pose, start by slightly tucking your chin towards your chest, engaging your core and using your arms to push yourself back up. You can remove all the props, and we're going to find our rest, our final rest. So if you need to take any other movement before maybe bringing your knees towards your chest, feel free to do so. And when you're ready, take your final relaxation. You can lie down in Shavasana, maybe with a bolster underneath the knees or covering yourself with a blanket, but also feel free to be on your side or on your belly, whatever feels more restful and comfortable. And here I really invite you to pause that video for at least 5 minutes, because the Shavasana is the most important pose of any yogic practice. So enjoy your Shavasana and feel free to unpose when you're ready to come out. Thank you so much for joining in this Yin Yoga practice to break past our fears. So I hope you're feeling better, and if you like this class, I would love for you to subscribe, comment, like, and share this beautiful practice with others. Thank you so much for joining, and have a beautiful day.